Hey, everybody. I assume you can hear me? Good, good. Okay. So tomorrow I'm going to go to campus and I should bring the book tomorrow, right? Michael,
I have to go.
who has to go? Okay. Anyway, Michael, I believe that you did a graph and you won a book, right?
Yes.
Okay. And that nobody else in the class did. Okay. All right. Big announcement. Friday night, a few days from now, right? Friday night is the last time at which you can improve your reading score. Okay. So this weekend, I'm going to regrade everybody's reading scores for the last time. So if you are trying to bring up your grade, that's the deadline. Okay. So for any of the chapters that, so there'll be 1 through 8 and 15, you've got to, that's the deadline is Friday night. Okay. Does anybody have any questions on that? Okay. How about some review? Who's got questions?
Could we get like a bare bones review of what we did last week? Because I'm trying to remember like everything that we did with the like when it was supposed to be that you press a certain button and it would change the photo. I'm trying to remember what did that.
All right. Let's see. All right. Oh boy. All right. So we've learned import CV2, and that is the Open Computer Vision Library. And we also don't want to see the transcript, hide the subtitle, which I pushed the button before, but apparently wants me to push it twice. So import CV2, that's the Open Computer Vision Library. We learned about CV2.imread, and you give it the name of a picture file. Okay, so somebody with music, if you could mute yourself. Santana, it might be you, but you're muted. Okay, so it can't be you. All right. We learned about CV2 weight capital, and typically you do with the 0. The 0 is wait forever. We learned about CV2.imShow, and the first argument takes 2 arguments. One is a window name, comma, image to show. And where image, IMAGE, is something that imread returned previously. We learned about CV2 destroy all windows, which is what you do at the end. What else did we learn about? And then we looked at 4 different ways of finding or identifying your pictures. So way number 1 was hard coding a list. And that's okay for your next project. You could do that if you want. The next one is to prompt the user and have them have the user type in. Don't do that. So way number 2 is off the table. Okay, off limits. Don't do that. Way number 3 is to create a file that contains the names of the picture files. My hand is getting tired. Okay, read the file to learn the file names. Way number 4 is the command line. That's okay. You know how to use sys.argv, and you could use that if you run the program from the command line and list all the names of the pictures you want to load. That could work. And then I promised you a 5th way is write code to allow the program to find the pictures on its own. No, there's no pass-through there. Okay. Another announcement, and that is the final exam is a week from Thursday, so 9 days from now. And it will be given in class time. The test itself will open around 9 a.m., just like we did on the midterm. It'll open around 9 a.m. During normal class time, I'll be here in case you have questions about the exam. And the exam will close at 4 p.m. So you have from 9 until 4 to do the final exam. Okay? Anybody have any questions about that? Nobody? Okay. So way number 5, we have not actually learned about yet, and that's the subject of today's class. So Santana, is this a reasonable review for you? Is there something I'm missing?
No, you definitely refreshed my mind for all this. Thank you. I was definitely foggy on the CV2 stuff, but the review definitely helped with that.
Okay. And I encourage everybody to check out OpenCV. It's got hundreds, many hundreds of functions available to you. Some get really exotic and really out there. But there's an awful lot of functions that it provides that are quite straightforward, like flip and flop. Actually, the flip and flop is accomplished by flip. Resizing images. On this Thursday, we'll look at how to write out a GIF file. So that if you want to create your own animated GIFs, and it is GIF with a, like the peanut butter, not GIF. All right, so any other questions for review? Anybody? Okay, So give me a moment. I'm going to, I have to, interesting. I have to put my directory back the way it was supposed to be for the way you have it. All right, and I'm just putting this back the way that you have it now. Oops. So I made a mistake. So I moved 3 to 4. And move 003.jpg to 3.jpg. Now 5. Damn touch bar. Worst invention ever. 6. And Apple knows it's the worst invention ever. That's why they're getting rid of it. But of course, they can't just come out and say, hey, we made a mistake. No, they have to say, new and innovative is the old way. Let's go back to the old way, because that's new. The old way is new. Okay, good. All right, so my directory is going to look a lot like yours, I hope. And what I want to show you now is how easy it is to walk a directory tree. Now, before we do that, though, we've got to get some idea of what a directory tree is. And that is all of the major operating systems. So Windows, including Windows, all versions of Linux and the Mac, use a hierarchy to organize files. So files are organized into folders, also called directories. There, finally. And directories or folders are also organized into directories and folders. So the hierarchy is made up of directories and folders. Okay, so, and the hierarchy looks sort of something like this. Okay, so that's what the hierarchy looks like. What's at the top? On Linux and the Macintosh, the top is the root. And it's a special directory whose name is slash. Okay, but that is only for Mac and Linux. The root, when it comes to Windows, there are lots of roots. So C colon is one root, and if you have a D colon, then D colon is a root. Okay, so Windows went a different path, and they have multiple top directories, one for each disk drive you have. Okay, this should be familiar to everybody. Is there anyone who would like to go into more detail or hear more about this? Okay, so somewhere in your hierarchy, and now we're back in concept, we're back to all of the platforms, Windows unified with Mac and Linux. At somewhere, there is your home directory, your user's home directory. And perhaps there's another directory within that called 1100. And then perhaps within that, there is many files like 1.jpg and 3.jpg. Boy, that's hard. And maybe there's some other subdirectories. And of course, there's some Python programs. So on Windows, you can navigate this hierarchy using Windows Explorer. On the Mac, there's the Finder. And on Linux, there's the same thing, something very similar. You can also, on all of these platforms, navigate the hierarchy using the command line. And on all of the platforms, it's the same command, cd, space, and then a directory name. And that will change the directory from where you are now to some other directory. Any questions about this part? Good. So I said something a second ago, where you are now. That is at all times, there is this notion of a current working directory, the directory where you are now. So since you can be many places, it would be convenient to have a common name for where you are now. Instead of always having to know the full true name of each folder, every folder has a name, but it's a convenient shorthand to say wherever I am now, I'm going to call dot. So if I'm in the command line and I'm change directory to 1100, then a shorthand name for that folder is dot. In fact, no matter where I am in the hierarchy, the name for where I am is dot. The name for the directory above me is always dot dot. So where I am is dot, and the dir above me is dot dot. Okay, so this is the background. This is the review of a hierarchy of files and directories. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. Good. So what I want to do is I'm going to create a little bitty program. That would be here. And you can go ahead and do this with me. So import OS. Okay. And this is a real short little ditty, so we're not going to observe the proper Python format of using dunder main and dunder name. Let's just code right here at the top level. We'll say, let's say the starting directory is, let's start where we are now. And no matter where you run this program from, dot will always be where you are. Okay, so for the root, any dirs and any files in os.walk, the starting directory. Let's just do nothing. And let's talk about, let's go right into the demo. So print let's examine each of these values. The root value is ROT, print years, and print files, and print an empty line. Okay, so let's leave this here for a moment. So os.walk, given a directory name, is going to, in a very handy way, allow you to enumerate the whole hierarchy, starting at rooted at some place, in our case, dot. Okay, so let's try this out. What directory am I in? Good. All right, so Python, my file's called test9. Wow. There's a lot of stuff here. So notice that I started at dot. So the very first output says the root is dot. And the value of deers is a Python list of any folders within the current folder. Let's take a look at this, ls minus L. And you'll see that here's the D says a directory. So there's a directory, there's one, subdir. And here's a directory, a subdirectory, subdir2. So that shows up in here. There's a list of anything within the current directory that is itself a directory. And then files is a Python list with all of the ordinary files in the current directory. Notice they are not in any order. Okay, there's no predefined order. But, that's great, but walk will then recursively descend into the whole hierarchy. So here, it's descending into subdir. Now, subdir contains no child directories, no subordinate directories itself, and it contains one file. And subdir2 is completely empty. It has no directories and no files. Let's confirm. Here is subdir. So there's the one file, test file. And let's confirm that subdir2 is empty. It's empty. Okay. Does anybody have any questions so far? All right. So we can use this as a way to locate files that you might be interested in. Now, what files are we interested in? We're interested in the Muybridge horse photos. So we could put them into their own directory. We could do that. Let's say, how about, let's import sys. And if the length of sys.argv is less than 2. Print, please specify a starting directory on the command line. And exit. All right. So instead of, let's remove starting directory and use sys.argv sub 1. That would be the first command line argument beyond the name of the Python file. Okay. So let's try this. Python 3 test 9. Okay, I didn't give it a name of a directory, so it says so. Now I'm going to give it the name of this directory. That's dot. Okay. All right. Anybody have any questions? So now I'd like to create a list of just the JPEG files that I want. So how about image list equals an empty list? I'm deleting these lines, okay, everybody? So remember that files is a list of the files in the named directory. So I'm going to say I can enumerate a list for file in files. Print the name. Okay, let's just stop there. Write a little, test a little. Okay, and run it. Apparently I went too far. Okay. Now, once again, you'll notice that the files are not in any order, and they also are of different types, not just JPEG. So what can we, let's filter out only the JPEG files. How can we do that? Well, a long time ago, we learned, in fact, almost the very first day of class, we did string dot ends with. So if the file name, individual file name, ends with .jpg, then print it. Let's try that. Excellent. So that got rid of, notice that there's Python files here, but it got rid of it. All we have left is .jpg. Now it turns out we've got some other JPEGs here, like the LOL blink comparator picture. Now, once again, if you organize your files so that in a directory there's only the files you want, you don't need to do this amount of filtering out. But in case your images are in folders where there are lots of other file types, you do have to filter out. So how about let's filter out only JPEG files that start with a number. Okay, so if the file dot ends with a JPEG and the first letter is a digit. What the hell? then print it out. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, good. Now I only have, I got rid of the low comparator, blink comparator picture. So good, let's add this to a, let's, instead of printing it out, let's say image list dot append. Okay. Okay. So let's see what we get now. Good. I have a single list of just the numbered JPEG files. But I've got a problem. If I showed them in your project in this order, your flip book would be jerky, right? I mean, it's not showing this proper sequence. And sequence is important. So what can we do? If only there was some way we could sort a list. Anybody remember how to sort the list?
Isn't it like list.sorted?
List.sort, or there's a different way. Image list equals sorted image list. Okay, let's do that. Excellent. They are mostly in order. But I've got another problem now. What's my problem and how do you explain it?
You have 10 and 11 before 2.
Okay, I'm sorry, I missed something because I was listening for what a strange sound I was hearing. Okay, so what's my problem?
10 and 11 are before 2.
Right, now can you explain that?
No.
Okay, because does anybody else? Because it's sorting alphabetically, not numerically. So something that begins with a 1 is sorted before something that begins with a 2, even though it's not correct numerically. So our final problem here is how to solve that. Now, there's two ways. One is, the simplest way is don't use single digits. If order is important with files that begin with numbers, then don't use single digits. So I've got a 2-digit range here. 11 is 2 digits. So one of the ways of solving this is to rename. So on Windows, you can rename file A to file B. So in this case, you might rename 0.jpg to 00.jpg if you have less than 100 files. On Mac and Linux, you would say MV A to B to rename. And of course, you can also use the File Explorer, rename in File Explorer, which I believe in Windows File Explorer, if you depress F2, function key 2, while you're selected a file, you get to rename it. And on the Mac, you would have to slowly double click on a name, or single click and then right click to bring up a menu to do a rename. Okay, so this is one approach that you can take. And I'm going to go ahead and do that approach. So 0.jpg, I want to make it 00.jpg. And 1 and 2 and 3. Oh, I did it again. I did that last time and I had to really go out of my way to fix it. So let's see. This is now repair. I got to repair. What the hell is wrong with my computer? JPG is really 04.jpg. Okay. Move 3 to 03. Move 4. I did 4, 5 to 05. Now, I typed that a while ago. I'm still waiting for the characters to appear. There's something wrong with my machine. Okay, move 6.jpg to 06. So this is only one way of dealing with it. And I'm having a hell of a time here. So Zoom is using not a lot. What about memory? Trying to figure out why. Oh, well, Ubuntu is being a real hog. And make Ubuntu go away. Go away. Okay. Well, I don't know if that fixed it, but who knows? So this is one way. No, it didn't fix it. Okay, now another way is to take the string, let's say 8.jpg, and to split the string on the dot, and then you would have 8 and JPG. Then sort numerically on the 8. But that's too much for today. So I'll just go ahead and finish it this way. That's the last one that I need to do. What is going on? All right. So let me run my program now. And there you go. I have just the files that I want in the right order. Okay, anybody have any questions?
I have one, but I think it might just be because I'm using Windows.
All right, go ahead.
When it's doing the listing thing, it's going into one complete line, like going like an actual like list of it, instead of like going one. Oh wait, never mind. I was looking at the wrong thing. My brain was like processing that it was like going row by row for each image instead of like a list.
Okay. So now we're ready to merge this with the code that we ended with last time. And that's right here. So find, so I'll call it find numbered JPEG files. And Let me just change that. So this is code that we ended with last time with this new function. Now this one's a little different. Take a look here at underscore, comma, underscore, comma, F. Okay. Now, what we had in my example originally would have been the root and the directories and then the files. But looking at this, you'll see sooner or later that I get a little orange squiggle. And if I hover over the orange squiggle, it'll say D is a variable that has been declared but not used. Now, the reason I'm not using is I don't need it. So what I'm going to do, when in Python, you need to account for a variable returned by a function that you don't actually need. You can replace with an underscore. And that's like having, well, at the end of the day, I just can't talk. That's like having a variable that has no name receive a value back from a function. So the underscore says just eat the value and don't show, preventing a warning. Okay. Okay. So if you're using this, then you're ready to make the one change. Well, it's not one change, but you're going to change one line into several lines that completes the final project. So the lesson was how to use os.walk. Where is it? Here it is. There is, by the way, a problem left over in this code in that if there are subdirectories of the current directory that also have pictures in it, you're going to get them here too. So for completeness, why don't we bring back, oh yeah, and then this was the starting directory. Let's make this better. Starting directory, which will pass in as a parameter. All right, now fix that up. Find numbered JPEGs starting here. Okay, so watch what I do. So here is this root R. I'm going to bring back R and say if R is not the same as the starting directory, break. So what's going to happen here is we want to stop processing once we start descending into the directory hierarchy. So we only want to consider the starting directory. We don't want to burrow down. Does anybody have any questions?
Where do we put the find numbered JPEG files And which one? Because I couldn't remember which one it was for the main.
Well, we created a function that you give it a list, a Python list of names, and it tries to load everything in that list as an image. So, and then we've got a lot of different ways of generating that list. So here's one from the command line, get it, file names from a separate file. This is the one we just added, find numbered JPEG files, load images from a list, load images from I guess a better name would be file list file. There. So I'm not sure how better to answer your question.
No, you got it. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So I'd like to take a moment and reflect about our progress through this whole course. So you have learned Python 3, not all of it, but much of Python 3. Importantly, you've learned how to read from files. You've learned specifically how to read CSV files in particular. You've learned how to graph, and that was the matplotlib. And we just learned how to identify files you might want to process. Boy, Fredo's causing me trouble here. She's knocking over my lights. You want to say hello to everybody, Fredo? Fredo, come here. Come here. Come here. Let's say hello. Ah, she's making it hard to get her picked up. Never mind. Okay. So I submit to you that this is everything I wanted to accomplish in the course. So using this, these steps here, these ideas, it's my claim that you could go out. Here. Fredo wants a moment. Say hi, everybody. Say hi to Fredo. Okay, you can go down now. Every class needs a puppy. So it's my claim that you're now prepared to take these lessons and do something useful in your major, as part of a hobby, whatever. You've got all the basics now. Okay. So feel good about your time in this class. Okay. Hey, by the way, has anybody started using Python outside class to do something? Any stories to share?
With that stock trading thing that I showed a little while ago, I've made a few $100s off of that. But that's it.
Holy shit! Good job.
Yeah. Good job. Would you say you had a foolproof method to profit from the stock market?
Oh no, it definitely needs improvement.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, foolproof method for picking winners on the stock market is like a foolproof method for predicting lottery numbers. So in other words, there is no foolproof single method. Just ask the trader from the hedge fund in England that did a bet, made a trade, and they lost the billions of dollars. Oops. I'm sure his response, when he was confronted about it, the trader probably said something, does this mean I don't get my bonus? Okay. But I'm bump. All right, so does anybody have any questions? All right, questions about anything in Python? One week from today is review day. Review will be in the form of taking the midterm again with a few new questions thrown in. So that'll be a week from today, and then a week from today plus 2 days. Thursday of next week is the final exam, and it'll open 9 in the morning and be available to you till 4 p.m. in the afternoon. All right. That's what I wanted to do today. So if no one has questions, we can call it a day. I'll see you on Thursday.
Have a great one,
Okay.
everybody.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good day.